Welcome to Theme on Screen.
I'm your host, Katelynn Michael Pedri.
And I'm your co-host, Paul Gursky.
We're here to watch and explore some of the greatest films in history of cinema.
Each month, we pick a unique theme. Then, whether it's at the furthest depths of our backlog or something we've seen 100 times before, we center our discussions around films that fit that theme.
Show me the money. It's game time on Theme on Screen.
I don't know if it made sense. What do you guys think? Did you like that new intro? Katelynn worked really hard to write it.
I think it made sense to me.
Oh.
Show me the money. It's time to get the Quan.
Well, welcome to episode... What are we up to? Is this episode 12 already? Jeez Louise.
We're on 12.
Welcome to episode 12, everyone. Katelynn, how are you doing tonight?
I am fine. I had soup. It splashed on me no less than 3 times today. Well, it was in the crock pot and you go and you mix it to make sure it's doing its thing. And it decided to splash me multiple times. So my belly was burnt. It hurt.
Well, that sounds very traumatic.
This has never happened to you?
No, not with soup. Granted, I'm usually making soup out of a can, so it's low enough in the pot that it's not overflowing and splashing me with hot soup, but...
Yeah, I guess. It was a potato and leek soup, and the potatoes were real big honkers today.
We've made that soup before, haven't we? Didn't you give us that recipe?
I gave you the recipe, yeah, because it was so stinking good. And I'm like, you know what? I want it again. So I made it again.
You know what, everyone? Since we're on YouTube now, you can check below in the comment section. Katelynn is going to post her potato and leek recipe.
I could definitely post.
Because now we are a movie/cooking podcast.
I'm happy to do that for everybody. It's easy and good. But it also splash the little peak of belly that shows up in your sweater.
Maybe wear a full layer of clothing so you don't get burnt.
Yeah, maybe some kind of apron situation.
Yeah.
Kiss the cook.
I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I got really into my soup season once again. How are you doing, Paul?
Yeah, pretty busy. I was actually just working on putting the finishing touches on my 25-page manifesto about how to make a better podcast.
Wow, okay. I can't wait to read that.
So yeah, look for that in your mail cubby tomorrow.
I'm excited to look in my mail cubby.
I had to run to Kinko's. I was a little late, so I went to the Kinko's to get it printed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little sweat on the brow I can see from
I was
running over to the store.
Running in the snow.
Hey, they don't know you well enough. You could be running.
It's true. Well,
so what do you got today for some witty banter? You got anything hot for me? Hot off the presses?
Anything that I have specifically? I did want to talk about Matt Turner for a second. Is it okay if we do that?
I think that might be a question for him, but since he's not here, I'll answer on his behalf. Yes.
It was Matt Turner's birthday. And I feel like we talk about Matt Turner enough on this show that, viewers are familiar with him. If you're not, check out our episode where we discussed Heat. Matt was on that episode.
He's an FOP. Friend of podcast, yeah. And hopefully he will be on the podcast one day soon, again, because we love Matt. But it was his birthday on Sunday. I hope Matt is okay with me saying how old he is, because he turned 39 years old. So I asked him to watch The Color of Money to prepare for our most recent podcast, because I was like, this is a really good movie. I think you'd like it. You like pool. You like sports stuff. It seems like kind of, a buddy movie. Oh, and Matt, he did say that he was going to watch it before he listened to the podcast. So just looking at his letterbox, what he watched this weekend instead to celebrate his 39th birthday, the movie This Is 40, maybe got a little bit ahead of himself by a year there. He also watched 50 Shades of Black, which I understand is a Marlon Wayans parody of 50 Shades of Grey. So well, sexy.
Cool, Matt. And then Free Willy. So
yeah, he was really going through something there.
Yeah. Happy 39th birthday, Matt. Thanks for being such a good friend and friend of the pod. I'm glad you didn't listen to or didn't watch the movie that I suggested and had a real great weekend instead. So.
Are you sure he didn't? I swear I saw one of his reviews that said Paul told me to watch this.
He did not log it on Letterboxd, and he did make sure to log
really deep
50
down.
Shades of Black and Free Willy.
Yeah,
so,
God forbid he forgets to put that one in there.
Well, anyway, happy birthday, buddy. What about you, Katelynn?
Happy birthday, Fop.
what kind of witty banter do you have for us tonight?
I have a couple things that I wrote down. We can go whichever route you want to go. But but I was right before I was kind of writing down my answers, so I think this is a good one to start with. What movie do you wish you could watch over again for the first time? Which was actually harder for me than I realized. As a person who watches movies for a living now. And I went way back into my backlogs, much like we do, and I decided on 3 movies. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So the first one I decided on was Christmas Vacation. I've been watching this one consistently yearly for most of my life, as far back as I can remember, and I want to remember what it was like watching it for the first time. Like, did I understand it? Did I think it was funny? Do I still think it was funny? You know, it's so ingrained in my mind that I know every single line, and I want to start over. I want to see it again with fresh eyes. So I wrote that one, and then
Do you think
my
you,
my
at
other
nearly 31 years old now, do you think you would still find it as funny? Do you think your
I
sense
do
of
find it
humor
as
is...
funny.
Well, you do now, but if you were starting it fresh now that you're an older person, do you
Well, like
think
if
you
I
would...
saw it that
Yeah,
yeah,
has your humor changed since you first saw it?
I think so. I do. And that worries me. So maybe I shouldn't rewatch it again for the first time. Because I don't want it to ever leave me. Please don't leave me.
I'm sure your dad will always be there for you.
Papa, Papa, can you hear me? The other 2 that I decided on were kind of like in tandem. Um, because they remind me of each other, I guess, in some way. Clueless and 10 Things I Hate About You. I want to now that I'm a little bit older, maybe I would appreciate the fashion more and get something from it different than I did back in the 90s. Because I couldn't shop for myself really, and I was also like really fat, so I wasn't really wearing any of those cutie little clothes. And so I was like, maybe if I could watch it again now, my style would be different.
Maybe. Do you think you would have John program some sort of thing for you like Cher has at the beginning of the movie where she's just like having the computer pick out her outfit for her?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I don't know why he hasn't actually done that for me yet, because all you'd really have to do is hook an iPad up in the closet, right?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong
But then
person.
I'd also have to take a picture of every single piece of clothing that I own, and
Yeah,
that's gonna be a tedious task. So maybe I could just hire someone to do that?
maybe. I mean, I'm sure Chat GPT will get there one day. It'll be your personal stylist along with, destroying the planet, whatever else it's up to.
I was just hoping it would do that, not destroy the planet, but hey, What did you write down? Did you think of anything?
The Pelican Brief.
Really? Is there a reason?
No,
I'm just supposed to leave me hanging with the pelican brief?
I'm not going to elaborate on it at all. I was thinking things that kind of blew my mind a little bit so that if I could kind of unexperience like the twist maybe. So the first thing that came to mind was The Shawshank Redemption, because the first time I saw that movie, I really had no idea. We're spoiling The Shawshank Redemption right now, by the way. I didn't
I've seen
know
it.
that Andy was going to get out of prison. I didn't know how he was going to get out of prison, and just the whole ending sequence of that movie kind of blew my mind the first time I saw it. So being able to
Mhm.
experience that again for the first time would be fun. And then I had The Matrix, because yeah, seeing that in theaters for the first time, just the special effects spectacle that's on display really
Mhm.
was a very formative movie for young Paul back in the year 1999.
Good year.
Yeah,
Good
good year.
year. Good choices. Now that you mentioned something that you want to experience, like, that ending for the first time, I bet, a lot of people could even say, like, The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. I knew the twist of that movie prior to...
How?
So I knew
You
there
get
was a
spoiled? Oh,
twist.
no.
No, I didn't even get spoiled, but I knew there was a twist to the movie. So just knowing that there was a twist, I spent a lot of time
You
trying
knew
to
something
figure
was
it out.
coming.
And then, well,
Yeah.
my sister and dad saw it first, so I basically, just to prove how smart I was like, Kelly, is the twist that he was dead the whole time? And she couldn't help herself. She told me that I was correct. So
Damn it, Kelly.
yeah, just knowing that there was something to the movie, I don't know. It was a mystery that needed to be solved, and I solved the mystery without seeing it. So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
not
when I
even
knew that
knowing.
Timmy was gonna get spanked on the ass, and I was, like, waiting for it to come.
Wow, I didn't
Kinda
know
like
you
that.
had knowledge of that beforehand.
I did. Surprise.
What were we just talking about?
Kelly spoiled The Sixth Sense for
Yeah.
you.
Well, she didn't actually spoil it. She just confirmed my suspicions. So it wasn't like she went
Uh-huh.
out of her way to ruin the movie for me. But I also wonder why my dad took my sister to see a movie without me. What a jerk.
Whoa. Wow, there's some deep-seated trauma with this one that we're gonna
Yeah,
have
we
to get
haven't had a
into at a
really
later
good
date.
therapy session in a while, have we?
Yeah, Paul's therapy corner. He's crying over The Sixth Sense. I'm sure
I'm
maybe
good.
they had something special. Like
Yeah.
maybe they had like a hangout day and that's what they did. It could be that. Okay. So then I also wanted to ask, now that we're end of January and we're kind of gonna, wrap this up here. Was there any movies that you really enjoyed that we watched? Or, for the podcast specifically, and maybe that you might watch again?
Well, we did only do 3 sports-themed movies, so it does kind of limit the choices a bit, but unsurprisingly, or maybe surprisingly, because we haven't actually recorded this episode yet, my favorite was The Color of Money. I enjoyed that movie a lot, and I've actually rewatched the Werewolves of London clip several times since then.
Okay, cool guy.
And more than just that, I think it made me want to dig. I talked about digging like through a director's backlog and stuff, and I think we talked about Scorsese. So going through some of his movies, specifically some of his movies from like the 70s, and then what did I write down? Oh yeah, more Paul Newman movies too, because Paul Newman, as a fellow incredibly cool and handsome Paul, just going through some of his backlog would be interesting. And some of the Tom Cruise 80s movies that I haven't seen, like Cocktail or Risky Business. Like so it did
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it piqued my interest in a variety of ways.
I love that.
What
I've had
about
Risky
you?
Business on my list for so long. Like, why have I
Yeah.
not seen Risky Business? And actually, I only saw like Top Gun. Was it this year? Or I'm sorry, 2025 or maybe 2024. But I just saw it recently.
Top Gun
I
was
know.
recent for me too. It was before Top Gun Maverick, but it was in preparation for watching Top Gun Maverick. So,
Yeah. I don't know. I don't watch. I guess I don't watch a lot of Tom Cruise.
but Tom Cruise, I don't
I
know.
guess. I don't know.
I think he's gonna make it. I think he's
Yeah,
got
I think
something
he's got a
to
good
him.
career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he
Well,
goes.
what about you? What did you enjoy watching the most for the pod or otherwise in January?
Yeah, the first one I wrote down was the movie we watched for our episode today, Jerry Maguire. I actually really did like it, and I said to John after we finished watching it, and I felt like I fooled you because I mean honestly I didn't know really what the movie was about. I thought it was sports related, and there was probably some romance, but I didn't really think about it. But I feel like I duped you into watching a romantic comedy.
So this was a blind spot for you as well, then?
Yeah. Uh huh. I mean, even though, and we'll get into it, but I mean, around every corner of this movie was an iconic line that I was like, "Oh," but it was like I knew it was there, but how they got there, I didn't realize it was part of this scene or it was in preparation of this or whatever it was, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense now."
Yeah, this
So,
was so much a part of the culture in 1996 that, I mean, I was 11 years old, so I had no business watching Jerry Maguire at 11, I don't think. But so much of it just seeped into the, like, popular consciousness. Like, who doesn't know Show Me the Money or You Had Me at Hello or
mhm.
all of the other iconic lines from the movie.
Right. So I would watch this one again. The only bugaboo I had was it's quite long, but I'd watch it alone with a bottle of wine, if I'm having a night. I thought it was worth it. And then Marty,
Cool.
probably I'll watch that one again.
Cool. So the
Just
only one
Timmy.
you wouldn't watch again is the one that I like the most.
Well, we're two different people and we like different things. If we agreed on everything, Paul, this podcast would suck.
It would be pretty stupid if we agreed on everything.
That movie was
Um,
great. End episode.
End episson. Well, this is our shortest one yet. 15
Sounds
minutes.
good.
I didn't
See
even
ya.
say what I thought. Um, the only other thing I wanted to say was I did watch The Rip this weekend. I did text you about it, so you know this already. But that
Yeah,
was a
please, but you know
new
what, for the audience too.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon Netflix film. I believe I read it was watched by some 45 million people, their highest
Holy
viewed movie
mackerel.
since Happy Gilmore 2. And it was really good. It's propaganda. It's about, cops being good guys with some bad cops maybe. Damn it, it's a fun movie. It's not too much of a thinker, but if you want to see, I don't know, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon shoot some guns and I don't know, maybe there's a
Sure
little
do.
bit of a mystery. It's just a fun time.
Ooh, a little mystery.
So yeah,
You
I highly
know,
recommend The Rip. I believe Katie is actually watching it right now.
oh,
So yes.
Interesting. And it's funny that you mentioned that it was what did you just said it and I can't remember. It was like a light what did you say? A light watch, not too deep. Is that what you said?
Yeah, something like that.
You literally just said it, but you know that I'm stroking today. Um that sounds weird. Please don't use that clip.
Yeah, you can take that the wrong way for sure.
Yeah, that could be taken the wrong way. I saw an interview with Matt Damon. He said that Netflix like makes their actors or like the script writers of these movies like repeat 3 times throughout the film the plot because people are on their phones and they
Yeah.
know that. And so I think it makes sense that it might be a little dumbed down for lack of a better term to because you're looking at your phone, you're looking over here, you're googling Matt Damon's all the movies he's been in and you're like, wow, what's this Zoo movie? That's stupid.
It's true. It's Netflix movies are often second screeners. Like, you have it on your second screen, your first screen being your phone because you're scrolling while you're
Oh,
watching it. And that's why a lot of them are just schlock. But they've put out some good ones recently. I mean, Train Dreams, again, I love that. And The
it's
Rip,
no War of the Worlds.
it's no, well, the bad War of the Worlds or the Tom Cruise War
Yeah,
of the
the
Worlds?
bad one that came out last year.
I didn't see that obviously, but it was dragged pretty hard. Because
Yeah.
isn't it just like Ice-T on Zoom or something? Or
Yeah, I'm
Ice
pretty
Cube,
sure it
not
looks
Ice-T.
I think it's just us like doing this right here, but we're trying to save the world. Yeah.
Well, aren't we trying to save the world with this podcast? Isn't that our ultimate goal? The
That
betterment
is
of
what we're trying to
society through the
That is what
power
we're
of
trying to do
film.
here.
I think I just wrote next
Absolutely.
month's intro, the betterment of society through the power of film and romance.
Wow. And we're gonna watch some real squeaky movies for you. Did you have anything else on that?
Well, it might come up later because there was another movie I watched on Netflix this weekend, but
Well,
in
if you want to.
well, I'll just say Clueless might come up later too because I feel like because of Renee Zellweger, we might end up talking about Bridget Jones and whatever. But I watched the movie. It's a French movie called Jane Austen Wrecked My Life, and that was highly enjoyable as well. So there's another plug of things that I watched recently.
Okay. I've been actually focusing a lot on television shows, so I didn't do so well this week with movie-wise, but I'm really and I'm gonna thank them later, so I won't mention it just now, but Tell Me Lies is back. Um, I have this K-drama that I gotta start. John and I started The Night Manager. Um, I've been on TV. I'm on Team TV right now. Oh, and I'm watching The Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm starting that from the beginning. I'm only on season 8. I've got like 16 to go. And and then The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Vanderpump Rules reboot, which is not good, but it's fine. I've got a lot going on, Paul.
Well, you're putting in the work for this movie podcast.
I'm watching the movies I'm supposed to watch. It's just this week I did not watch any extracurricular movies.
Okay. So did you want to talk about awards season just a little bit before we get into the movies? I know you had some notes about awards season on our outline.
Yeah, I thought of something interesting that I heard Amanda Seyfried talking about, and so I thought maybe it might be a little interesting for us to discuss it, but if it goes somewhere else, that's absolutely fine. Because just in an interview, there was a lot of videos going around when she lost the Golden Globe the other week, and her video of her kind of being disappointed, but maybe she was, maybe she wasn't, whatever. I'm not really sure. Um, but she said that she was like, well, I don't really care to win. It doesn't mean that much to me. The nomination really means more because how many actresses, best Oscar winners do you actually remember? I mean, maybe we remember last year, but can you go any farther back unless you're some kind of like, film
Last year
nerd?
was Mikey Madison. The year before was Emma Stone.
Okay, but who's that before that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Exactly. But
Was
does
Emma
it
Stone even the
really
year before? I'm not sure.
But does it really boost your career as much as we think it is? Like maybe just being nominated, so now it's like, Academy Award nominee Amanda Seyfried. I don't know. Do you think it means as much as it used to be a winner?
I think it depends on the person. I think Amanda herself she's either playing a character or she really just doesn't give a shit. She might just be a little bit of a weirdo, or that's just kind of the persona she's taken on this award season. Because
Yeah.
maybe for her, like I didn't even take her response at the Golden Globes as she was disappointed. I felt like she just knew she wasn't going to win. So it was because she was like clapping before they even announced anything. It was basically
Yeah.
just her kind of pointing out that this whole thing is just a little bit silly. And
Yeah.
I do think for certain people, though, it probably does matter because they want to be recognized as the best in their field. Like, we're talking about Tom Cruise again tonight, and for God only knows how many years he's been doing, like, just fun crowd-pleasing action movies. But then this year he has the movie Digger coming out
Yep.
from the director's last name is Inarritu, the guy that did Birdman and various other movies. And I think this is Tom Cruise's return to
A
trying
little
to
more
be a serious
serious.
actor, because this is an award
Yep.
that he doesn't have, and I think that's something that he's always going to be chasing. And I think probably the same was true for Paul Newman, who we talked about last week. He didn't get his until The Color of Money. So I think, yeah, for certain people, just being recognized as the best of the best, they're the kind of people that want to chase that clout, and like, that's just, I don't know, it's the Mount Everest of the acting
Yeah,
profession
like the
for certain kinds of
pinnacle,
people. Yeah.
you know. I showed up all year for school and I got the best attendance award.
Yeah, but
Well, because you
more
see
like
how serious it
valedictorian.
is for like Timothy, like
Yeah.
this is his big thing. This is what he wants. Could it also maybe be read, like you said, that she knew she wasn't going to get it, and so maybe she was like preemptively not caring?
Yeah,
I
no, I
didn't read
think,
it like it wasn't that she didn't care. I don't know, but would you want the camera on you as you just lost
but I think
an award
she's kind of a goofball, and I think she's the same way that Timmy was kind of being real, I'm the best, blah blah blah. Like
over the top? Yeah.
yeah, he was playing, yeah, he was taking on a persona for award season, and I think whether or not she's just doing that for this award season or that's how she always is, that's just Amanda Seyfried. Like, I don't know, it's just how she is. So
Well, she's getting a lot of good press for the Ann Lee, Testament of Ann
Testament of
Lee.
Anne Lee, yeah, which I still
I'm
would really
starting to
love
hear
to
more
see.
about it now as more people are seeing it.
I believe it's playing in Detroit this weekend, so we'll see how long it's in theaters for. I mean, I would love to go see it, but I don't know if I can bring myself to go to a movie theater again. Though
Oh
a
gosh.
like 2+ hour musical about Shakers, I don't. Maybe you won't have any annoying
Yeah,
teens in
maybe
a
you'd
movie
have a
like
good
that.
shot that there's no youths in the audience.
I always hope for that, but again, when the people that ruined Hamnet were old, so you never can tell.
I'm still so sorry about that.
Yeah, so we're recording this, everyone, on a Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, and that is when the Oscar nominees will be announced for sure. Or for sure. Well, I don't know why I
For
said it like
sure.
that. For sure. So we'll talk more about award season next week. But like I said, I'm still kind of a little like, this is all just, I'm going to watch, but it's just kind of, it's a lot.
I'm worried that I am a victim of, what would I call it? Just like everybody's kind of telling me what's good.
Yeah.
It's like, here's all the movies that are probably going to be nominated, and it's like those are the only ones that I'm watching. But then how do I also find other movies to watch that, but then they're not even getting any of the recognition. So it's like nobody really cares if you're talking about it because nobody else is seeing it either. And I don't know. Does that make sense?
This
You know
makes
what I
sense, but I
mean?
mean, we both did our top 10 lists, and I think there were things on them that, I mean, maybe mine was better than yours, but just things
Ah,
that
well,
weren't conventionally, you know, EFIS didn't get nominated for any awards, but it's still my goddamn favorite movie of the year. So
yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and like, you get kind of caught up in the hype and the pageantry of the whole thing. Honestly, I think I'm excited to see what's nominated for like best international feature and best animated feature. Some of the movies that I maybe typically wouldn't watch otherwise. Maybe even best documentary, stuff that I don't usually watch. I'm excited to see what gets nominated for those and then give those movies a shot, because I think with the Big Ten, we've probably seen most of them already, and we've known
Yeah,
what they were
between the
going to be
two
for
of us,
months
yeah.
now. So
Yeah. Well, I am interested to also see what it comes out as, and I do want to watch the show because I did I watch last year? I think I did, but I told John, I said, this is my job now, I gotta watch this show.
yeah, I'm still really tempted to take the day off after, and we could all just get together and live stream and drink champagne or whatever, because that might be really
I
fun.
love drinking champagne.
That is probably when I'm gonna have my celebrate my birthday weekend too, I believe. So I don't know. Maybe for my birthday we should just watch the Oscars.
I
I had
guess if
another
that's all
point.
you want to
Forgot it
do.
was.
Something about the Oscars.
Yeah, it
Something
probably was
about
something
the
about the Oscars.
nominations tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm gonna watch it. Oh, I was thinking we can edit this part out, or we can leave it in. Maybe if we want to do a bonus episode where we like maybe get Matt and Katie involved, we could even get other Katelynn if you want. And we all just kind of go over our Oscar ballots, and then we kind of say who won the Oscar race this year.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, everyone loves games.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
Well, maybe just me, Matt, and Katie will do it then.
I'm just noodling on it. You just sprung it on me.
This is how podcasts are made, people.
This is how friendships are lost and podcasts are made. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to go over before we get into the meat and potatoes?
I think that was more than enough witty banter
say?
for today.
Mostly witty on my part.
Just banter for me. Nothing witty
just
tonight.
Just a little bit of banter for me. Okay. Ask me what we watched.
Katelynn, what did we watch this week?
We watched Jerry Maguire.
Show me the movie.
I did it. Show me the movie? That's good.
Was that good?
People are going to like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all right.
I'm just ad-libbing here, you know.
Just tell the people who's in the movie.
Oh, yeah. So I forgot this was my job. There's so many fucking people in this movie. Tom Cruise stars as Jerry Maguire. Cuba Gooding Jr. stars as Rod Tidwell. Renee Zellweger stars as Dorothy Boyd. Kelly Preston stars as Avery Bishop. I'm going to stop saying stars after everything.
Yeah, okay.
We've got Jerry O'Connell as Frank Cushman. Jay Moore as Bob Sugar. Bonnie Hunt as Laurel Boyd. Regina King as Marcy Tidwell. Jonathan Lipnicki as Ray Boyd. And I think I will stop there.
A little sad you didn't mention my boy Chad, but we'll get there.
Wait, who's Chad?
The babysitter.
Who played Chad?
Well, I don't know his name. I just know that he's a very important part to me.
Sure, Chad was... I was going to read his name, but I can't find it on the Wikipedia page.
No. Anthony something, I think?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, we'll get there. All right, let's go. Let me go through plot, and then we can...
It's Todd Luiso. Anthony, you were close with Todd.
Sorry. The name Todd is a blind spot for me.
Same. No one likes a guy named Todd.
No one likes a Todd. All right, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Here I go.
Let's hear what this movie's about.
Rubbing my paws together to get ready for it. Jerry Maguire is a romantic comedy drama that uses the sports agent world as a lens to examine late 90s American ideas about success, masculinity, and emotional honesty. Starring Tom Cruise, like Paul said, as a high-powered sports agent who has moral awakening and is fired after writing his manifesto about putting athletes before profit. Left with only one client, NFL wide receiver Rod Tidwell, that's Cuba Gooding Jr., and one colleague who believes in him, Dorothy Boyd, Jerry tries to rebuild his career and rediscover what success really means. The film blends sports business, romance, and self-reflection, and it's best known for iconic lines like, "Show me the money, and you complete me." Directed by Cameron Crowe, Jerry Maguire explores ambition, integrity, and the cost of choosing personal values over corporate success. And the film ultimately argues that fulfillment comes not from winning the system, but from redefining it on human terms, blending, like I said, romantic comedy conventions with a critique of corporate sports culture, which is why we chose it, because there is a little bit of sports.
There's a little bit of sports in this movie. I think, like I said last week, it's kind of sports adjacent, and I wouldn't choose it again as a sports movie, but it's sports-ish.
Well, that's why I feel like I kind of dogged you. I knew it was romantic-ish, but I guess I didn't think about it, and I got my way.
Everyone gets a say in this podcast. We're not just going to watch Paul movies unless we do a Paul-themed month.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. I don't even want to do that. So I don't know. We've been kind of doing our thoughts on the movie at the top of the show. Do you want to say what you thought, even though you kind of already did?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I think that the romantic comedy aspect of it really, really got to me. I think I probably cried like 3 times.
Wow, 3 crying Katelynns.
Yeah, and it wasn't like big tears, but it was just like, it was just like I was like, oh, and then finally seeing the scene of, you had me at hello. I mean, that's a life changer. If I could watch that scene again over and over again, I would. And I saw this interview, I guess, that Renee Zellweger did, and she was like, I actually didn't understand what, it meant in the script. When I read it, I thought it was a typo or whatever. No, I knew exactly what it meant. I knew exactly, because it meant more to her that he just came back. That's him opening the door. That meant the most to her. What did you think?
What did I think? I think this is one of the stupidest movies I have ever seen.
Wow, Paul. No.
Of all the movies we've watched for this podcast, I'm going to say this is probably my least favorite movie. You know how much I always say people like Sean Fennessy and Chris Ryan are my role models when it comes to movies. They did a Rewatchables episode with Van and Bill about this, and I couldn't even make it through the episode because I was just flabbergasted that four men actually thought that this was a good movie.
Why can't a man like this movie?
Well, because they're film fans and this movie's fucking stupid. It is, yeah, like literally just one of the dumbest movies I've seen in my entire life. I think you remember that speech in Billy Madison where he says like the whole speech and then they're just like, and now we are all dumber for having listened to that. Our like lives are worse. My life is worse from having watched Jerry Maguire. I can't believe this movie is beloved. I don't know what the hell was going on in the year 1996 because this is the same year that The Preacher's Wife came out. And God help me, I'm so glad we learned to make better film.
There was a softness to 1996. Maybe you're just not.
Maybe.
Do you think it's the writing or the directing?
They're
what's
both
bothering
bad.
you?
They're both bad. Almost Famous, I thought was one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm almost questioning my sanity and feel like I need to go back and watch Almost Famous again to see if it's actually
just
good.
To double check.
Because I am not sure how the person that made that movie also made this movie. So,
Lily.
Those are
I appreciate your honesty, and I think the listeners are going to appreciate it too because.
And I don't want to seem like I'm a hater, and everything that Katelynn picks out is something that I hate. I don't mind all romantic comedies. Like we've already talked about 10 Things I Hate About You is one of my favorite movies of all time. Little bit of a spoiler: we're doing romance movies next month, and I picked out multiple romance movies that I really enjoy that Katelynn hasn't seen that I think she is going to enjoy. So this isn't me just trying to be contrary or being negative. I really thought this movie was so stupid.
I don't think that you're trying to be contrary or a hater or anything like that. I respect your opinion here. I'm not going to say I'm hurt. I'm not, because when I said that I was hurt that you didn't love The Holiday, I feel like
The
I put you in a bad
Holiday was
position.
a better movie than this because The Holiday at least knew that it was a stupid rom-com. This I feel like is trying to be like meaningful and profound, and it just falls flat on its face. There is nothing meaningful or profound about this movie.
I think that.
All right, so now it's your turn to sell me on this movie.
No, I agree. I agree that it was trying to be something that maybe it wasn't. I can see where that comes across. It's almost like talking to like a guy who's trying to like mansplain things. Like it felt like that's what it kind of sounds like, where it was over explaining itself and over trying to romanticize things so to get you to enjoy it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was because it was supposed to be both sports. I'm using quotes, like both sports and to get your lady in with you. Maybe that was the whole thing. I
think that's part of the problem is that it fails at being a romantic comedy and it fails at being a sports movie.
And it fails at being sports.
It's not good at either of them. Like it wants to have it both ways. I'm skipping ahead, but for I don't know, cinematic or favorite moments, I really thought when they were getting ready to go on their first date, she had her cute black dress on and like the music was swelling. It was playing some like cool folk song or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm seeing where this is going and I'm kind of falling for it right now. Like we had the whole sports part, but now we're going to do the relationship part and then we'll finish it up with sports and relationship. But it didn't really go anywhere after that. They go on one date and then I don't know, they're getting married. It's just.
It did feel like, I'll give you that. It did feel like that relationship moved quickly, and I wasn't sure of the time frame that I was supposed to be told of, like, has it been a couple months? But maybe Regina King's pregnancy was supposed to help you feel the time moving. But in that case, it was only 9 months-ish.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I didn't even clock that. It just, there was nothing particularly romantic. There's definitely the lines that are very romantic, kind of
very
out of
fluffy.
context. Like, you had me at hello, or you complete me. Like, those are cute things to say, but then seeing them in the context of the movie, they just, I don't know, there was a flop for me.
Like I said, I liked the You Complete Me, mostly because, and I don't even think John clocked this when it was happening, but you remember at the beginning when they were in the elevator and the guy signed that to his girlfriend.
Yeah, I remember.
And I thought that, well, yes, but I thought it was so sweet. And then it was just something that he remembered, like, from whenever that time frame was that they first met. Again,
Yeah.
we don't know, like a month ago. It could have been a year.
Well,
but
it's at least the length of like NFL seasons was that 16 weeks. I mean, it's not even the full NFL season,
don't
right?
ask me. I don't fucking know.
Well, in 90s, there's 17 games now and a bye week. So it's 18 weeks now. And back then it used to be 16 games and a bye week. So 17.
Okay.
And it's not even the end of the season because they say, I think that they have to win
he hasn't
that
even
game
gone
and the
to the-
next game to make it
Yeah.
into the playoffs for the first time. So it's, yeah.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like if
So
we
then,
really
yeah, the
tried to do
relationship
the
did
math,
move quick.
Yeah.
The relationship moved quite quick. And I always have liked Renee Zellweger. See, I'm jumping around again.
That's fine. We can talk about things where what would you like to talk about next? I feel like I maybe threw you for a loop when I was just like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, you did. You did. Where was I? Let's do the cast. Because I do really like Renee Zellweger. I have a special place in my heart for her with, yes, Bridget Jones, but also growing up, a lot of people said that I looked like her, which was probably like a weird thing to say to like a 15-year-old, and she was, 30 something, but didn't you think she looked like Jennifer Lawrence? She was giving me Jennifer Lawrence in this movie.
I mean, I guess I could see that because was she around the age of her character? I think she's supposed to be 26 in the movie. Was she mid-20s, late 20s?
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
I can see some Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that in her, but yeah, I wrote down that she this was like she had like no money in her account. She was down on her bottom dollar when she got this role, and she beat out a lot of people for it. And I think she's got like a sincerity about her. And I enjoy watching her, and I enjoyed you mentioned the dress. I loved that dress. I was like, John, how can I get this dress? But I mean, it's super 90s, so I can find it really anywhere. That's neither here nor there.
Forever
Anyway,
21.
I'm gonna go shopping. That place is closed. What did you think about Renee?
I thought Renee was great. I'll say one of the things I guess I can say positively about this movie is I thought for the most part all of the cast was really good. I did like for working with the material that they're given. I thought Tom was good. I thought Renee was good. I thought Cuba was good. Most of the supporting cast is good, but my biggest note has Kelly Preston, R.I.P. Has she ever been in the room with a normal person before? Like, has she ever seen how a normal person behaves? Because what the fuck is going on in this movie with her character? She is completely insane.
Punching him in the mouth. Like, I really did like her red hair, though.
Like,
I thought that looked nice on her. Why, no. I'm like, no. Are people having sex like that? Like, I mean, we don't need to, but you know what I mean? Like, it was so strange.
It was
no wonder
two
he was
people
like,
that
I
I'm
gotta
pretty
go
sure
find...
have never had sex before or watched like any sort of movie where anyone's ever had sex before. Like, what is happening?
That's probably right. Are they both Scientologists?
I mean, they are both
was
Scientologists. She was a Scientologist because she was married to John Travolta, who's also a big Scientologist. And then,
see,
I don't want the Church of Scientology to come after us, but then finding out that weird thing, like their youngest child is actually like it's Riley Keough's eggs that were given to them when she was like 18 years old or something.
Okay,
and, like,
that's
so
might
Riley,
not be real.
No, it's a real thing. Like, and all the like weird stuff about Travolta that's come out over the years. I don't know.
Well, I thought that was a made-up story.
As far as I can tell, it's real. No one contested.
She would have been a youth. Like, she would have been...
Yeah, they harvested her eggs and gave them to John Travolta and Kelly Preston. I don't... It's a whole... I
fucking hate this place.
But seriously, what was going on with her character? Like, she was so cranked up to like 15. It wasn't even an 11.
Yeah, she felt like she was on something. Like,
if you told me she was like playing an alien that was trying to mimic human behavior for the first time, I would have bought that completely. Because what was she doing?
That's funny that you say that. I actually had no thoughts on her whatsoever because I think I was just like, oh, her hair looked good. And I put her kind of out of my brain because she was quite unhinged.
Completely. Like, it's just one of those things that takes me out of the movie so much because as a director, shouldn't you be trying to like get your actors to portray a specific performance and like maybe the tone should match? And then you have Cruise and Zellweger and everyone doing like a fairly straightforward movie, and then you just have this character that's just playing it completely just total wacko. Like, it's so unhinged. And yeah, can you guess what I thought of Jonathan Lipnicki? What's his name? Lipnicki?
Terrible child actor.
Yeah, you got me. I'd put that he should be put in a rocket ship with the kid from The Preacher's Wife, and they should be shot into the sun.
You know what my immediate thing once the movie was over? I was like, John, who is waking up every morning and spiking that kid's hair? Like, who is doing? And like, they named him Ray. Like he's like 5 years old, and somebody on Letterboxd was like, I kept thinking Ray was like some uncle that they forgot to introduce. Such a strange character. And honestly, from everything that I read, I'm pretty sure most of his lines, Cameron Crowe just heard him say it like walking around and then wrote it into the script. So he's really just being Jonathan Lipnicki.
Well, yeah, that's why. So I don't really want to throw that much shade at him because I don't think he's trying to act. They're just letting him like be a precocious kid.
Well, we're not making fun of his attorney career right now, or his.
Is that what he's doing?
You know, I don't know. Maybe he's like an accountant. Or
I mean,
something.
good for like he's not acting. He's just being a kid, and they're letting the camera.
He knew
roll.
his limits.
Yeah, he knew it. I'm sure he did. But it was just, you know how I feel about precocious children, and he's just a precocious child.
I hate a precocious child. Stop being precocious in front of me.
And something I did hear on the rewatchables before I had to turn it off, the human it doesn't even weigh 8 pounds. That's just wrong. He was just wrong about that whole thing.
He was just giving false information at that point.
Like, I don't know, at least get him to give us the truth.
What pissed you off more? Cary Grant is from Surrey, or the human head weighs 8 pounds?
The Cary Grant is from Surrey pisses me off way more because that's an adult that should know better.
Deep cut, guys. Go back to our holiday episode for a deep cut. Yeah, I did not love him. He was kind of the bane of my watching existence. Before I get into Cuba, because I do have a little story about him as well. I have a story about everybody today. I thought it was so interesting because, you know, like I've mentioned many times, I didn't really get into my movie watching journey. I mean, I've always watched movies, but like really analyzing and like paying attention until I was a little bit older. And so it was funny to see like Jerry O'Connell, Jay Moore, like people that you saw later in their careers and they weren't as like popular or, you know, as high profile to get these roles, and they were just like all scattered throughout this movie. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was
I
good
was like,
casting.
wait, isn't that the guy from this? And like, oh, that's it. He did that thing, and like, so it was that was funny.
So many of them, it's almost like Marty Supreme, just small roles, just little parts, but they really pop when they're on screen.
Yeah. Plus, I think Bob Sugar is a funny name because I call Charlie Sugar. I call Charlie Sugar all the time. Okay, so my story about Cuba Gooding Jr. Your wife can corroborate this story, actually. When we were in Toronto for one of our mermaid weekends, it was the first time I was in Toronto, and it just happened to be the Toronto International Film Festival. I had no idea. I booked this hotel, don't know how we got a room because we were one street over from TIFF. Like, there was celebrities all over the place. I have a Drake story, too. I could tell you that one later. But we were at this restaurant. It was so good. It was called Kings on East or something, or East. It doesn't matter. So anyway, we're walking through the restaurant and we walk past the bar, and at the very end of the bar, who do I see? Cuba Gooding Jr. And I'm like, and I'm trying to keep it cool, right? Because like, I'm like a cool girl. I'm not going to like freak out because I saw a celeb. And
Nobody
so we
believes
walk.
that.
I know. So we walk around the bar and we make it into the patio area where our waitress seats us. And I'm like, guys, like, Cuba Gooding Jr. is at the bar. And Katie thought that was pretty cool. And I was like, well, should I go say something to him? And one of our other friends was like, no, don't go talk to him, blah, blah. The waitress says, oh, he's here all the time. He's a creep. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, he hits on all the waitresses all the time. And he's always like, hitting on young girls at the bar, and he buys them drinks and all this other stuff. I was like, great. Like, I'm going to go talk to him. Maybe I can get Cuba Gooding Jr. to buy me a drink. And our other friend freaked out. And you are not going to go talk to him. He's a creep, all this other stuff. And I was like a little disappointed, but I ended up not walking over to him. And he was still there when we left. So that's my Cuba Gooding Jr. story.
And now if you look at his Wikipedia page, you can see the stories of the 30 different women that accused him of sexual misconduct.
I'm sorry.
I think you dodged a bullet.
I'm sorry to those
there.
women. I do believe these women. I absolutely do. I was just going to say hi and move on because, you know, what's that movie he was in with the dogs? what's that movie? Snow
Sled
Dogs?
dogs? Snow dogs?
Snow Dogs.
Hey, I'm just saying you dodged a bullet, and it
I
seems like
dodged a
your
bullet. I
waitress was
dodged.
right, and good for her for looking out for you.
And she was beautiful, and we believed her, and she was great. The food was great there too. I hope that restaurant is still alive and well. All that to say, I thought Cuba put a great performance on. I think he was the right person for this role. He had that charisma that was needed for this, and it wasn't in an unhinged kind of like asshole way. It was very sincere and very endearing, and he had a lot of fun with it, and it was fun to watch him, and that's probably why he won Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, he got his accolades for this, and he did do a good job, because I think you can very easily veer into caricature with the way that the character could have been portrayed if it was in the wrong hands. And he definitely comes across as very real. He does, he cares about getting that money, but you can also tell that he's a real family man, and like there's that balance that he's walking. So he does a good job.
Yeah, which was a great counterpart, speaking of like his relationship with his wife, because, you have Tom Cruise, Jerry Maguire, who has no romantic relationship at the beginning there. And so it's nice to.
You really just put Avery out of your head completely.
I really did. I really put her completely out. But it was different in that way, because it was almost just like for the convenience of it, I think, at that point, and also for the sex of it, because he wasn't really in it, and obviously she wasn't really in it. And so it was just a nice contrast to see, because not that all football players are necessarily like a womanizer or something like that, but they, like you said, he could have played it that way. He could have been like just having all the honeys and like dancing around with them and just having like not a wife, but he had a wife and a family and another baby on the way. And I liked that they chose that route for him. And he was still just a fun guy, and like we said, show me the money, and that whole scene, and like again, I knew that he says show me the money, but I didn't know how he got there, and so it was just funny to watch, and he's just screaming in his office like show me the money, and oh man, I just thought that was well done. I thought that was fun. You hated it.
I guess that's one of the most iconic scenes. It's it was there.
It was something. Well, I guess per IMDb, they really wanted the Quan to be the big quote and not show me the money. They really wanted it to be the Quan. So I'm really going to try my best to incorporate Quan into my everyday kind of speech, especially when I'm at the casino. I think it would be great to talk about the Quan.
Wanted that to be the takeaway, and people didn't really latch onto that. It's just one of the problems I have is like it's so schmaltzy, and they're just trying to like be profound, and the things that they think are profound are really not all that profound, and they're just cheesy.
You know what else was strange was the nudity, like having him be naked. What was the point of that? We didn't even really need to see that. I thought we were going to see his peenie for a minute there. I was like, oh my gosh.
I mean, I think in locker rooms you probably have a lot of naked men. That just.
Yeah, and then they put the woman, the news anchor in there, and they all got their peenies out. Yeah, and I was just like, they would not put her in there with their schlongs all hanging out for do an interview.
Maybe they would in 96.
They don't do that. They don't do that.
I feel like that's something that I have possibly heard of, that men didn't really like women being in the locker room, so they would do specific things like that to intimidate them or make them feel uncomfortable. But I don't really think the movie Jerry Maguire actually has anything to say about female sports reporters being in the locker room. I think that's just a scene that's in there, and you're supposed to think it's funny that she has to like put her face down by his dick to pick up the microphone.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, get this woman out of there. Give her a different job. That's all I had for cast, though. I'm surprised. I'm surprised about your Jonathan Lipnicki, though.
You're surprised about it?
No, I didn't write anything about him.
Oh,
well, so I didn't even surprise myself because I hated it so much.
I guess this isn't really cast. It's kind of cast in character. But can you explain what we know about Dorothy's character? Like,
she's a single mom.
Yes.
She lives with her sister, who also seems to be divorced because she has a divorced mom group.
Mm-hmm.
And she is lonely.
Maybe she's lonely. I guess she kind of implies that she's lonely, but she says she's had like 3 lovers in the last 4 years. That's
a lot of lovers.
Far more lovers than I've had in the last 4 years.
More lovers than I've had. So actually she's doing well.
Yeah.
But
and
I think she's sad. Like I mean, unless she really loves living with her sister, she'd probably like to live on her own. So she's probably got some sadness
Her
about
sister seems chill.
that.
I don't know.
Are you trying to get to something, though? Because her
Sure.
character was just
Well,
underdeveloped?
I do think it was underdeveloped. And what does she see in Jerry?
I was under the impression that she knew him for longer. Like, not just from work. It almost felt like she knew him when she was younger or something. Did you not get that?
No, because they really have their first interaction at the airport. They do work together, but it seems like that's the first time they're actually talking.
I don't know. It almost felt like, because she said something like, "Whoever gets that man is so lucky."
Did she say
I don't know. It
that?
just.
I don't remember
I
her
swear
even
she
saying
said
that.
something like that. She said it to Ray. I swear.
Okay, well, that doesn't even answer my question. What does she see in him?
I think initially it's probably just his looks. I mean,
Okay.
that's probably what it is. He's got
And
a
his
lot of
money.
money.
Because she
And,
sees
yep,
him in
he's got
first
money.
class, and she's like, oh,
I don't wanna
that's
be
not
up in
just better
first
food,
class.
it's a better life, too. Or whatever she says.
Wow, so this changes her motives completely when you think about it.
Yes. But so my point that I'm driving at is Garden State is a movie we talked about that gets a lot of shit for the like manic pixie dream girl trope, but it seems to be present here because her only purpose is kind of to serve his character. Like she's like, oh man, I just think he's so great, he's so brilliant and so like ethical that he just wrote this manifesto, and I'm gonna go with him. And like she's kind of quirky and weird, but really, she doesn't have a lot of personality. Definitely underdeveloped. Like I asked you what we know about her. She's a single mom. She lives with her sister. Like that's her character.
Is that something that Cameron? You said you watched Almost Famous. I haven't watched Almost Famous. Is he normally like this with his?
I don't think so. I think Penny Lane is one of the most well-developed characters, at least as far as I remember. So no.
Interesting.
Elizabethtown is also a movie that sucks.
I have seen Elizabethtown. I own it on DVD. I remember it being great, but I also watched it when I was like 16. So
I was probably like 19 or 20, and I do think I went to see it in theaters with friends and just remember thinking, whoa, how is this the same director? But then didn't really think about Cameron Crowe much after that because I just really loved Almost Famous. And
I feel like I know his name so well, and then when I saw how many movies he's actually directed, I'm like, why? Like, what, 8?
Yeah.
I thought he's done more.
Probably because he's not very good.
I feel like this is now becoming a hate on Cameron Crowe podcast, and that's not the case. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. It's just...
Okay, so you loved Todd. What was Todd's character's name? The babysitter?
Chad.
You loved Chad. What was the point of Chad?
I thought he was so funny.
So you
I
think
love
it was
that he
some
said
relief?
he wasn't a nanny. He was a child technician. I thought that was so funny.
But then he called himself an au pair.
Obsessed with jazz. He was obsessed with jazz music, which I love jazz music. And I just thought it was so funny how he's like, tonight we're going to be listening to jazz. And I feel like some of the parts of Roy Ray that were actually not insufferable, like I feel like he probably got that from Chad. Like I feel like he spends a lot of time with Chad and he teaches him things that he probably wouldn't know normally. Like they never explain all of those like diagrams of, I think it was like a heart and maybe like a half a lung or something on the counter in their house. They never explain why they're there. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't even remember.
They're like anatomical little things, and I feel like they were probably like Chad teaching this kid because he is smart and like he is precocious and all those things that we fucking hate. And I just felt like it was probably from Chad. I liked Chad. I thought he was funny. Then when they're about to have sex and he gives him that John Coltrane tape and he's listening to this music and they're both like, what is this song? I'm like, Chad, this guy. Chad.
I'm glad you thought it was funny because I could tell that it was trying to be funny, but it just came off as so like forced and awkward to me. Just I don't know. Imagine that situation like, hey, my boss is about to have sex. I'm gonna give the guy that she's gonna have sex with a mixtape so that they can bone to it. Like, what is this? I guess
it was just, to me, that played silly and it played to something I liked, but it wasn't your humor, and that's fine.
Yeah, I thought it was just weird.
And I like the representation of a male nanny.
Yeah, and then they get married, so they probably don't need a nanny anymore, and they just put Chad out of a job.
Oh my god. Now Chad has no job. Oh boy. Where else do you want to go?
I've got some more thoughts about the plot.
As you tear this to shreds.
Okay, well, how did she manage to lose her child so easily in the airport that he's riding around on baggage claim? What was she doing?
That bothered me so
She
much.
needed
I'm like,
Chad with her on this trip, and
yeah.
where were they coming
And
from
why
that
was
they were
she
on a flight?
taking him? Yeah, why was she taking him on was it a work trip or
Well,
where
yeah,
did they even
because or
go?
were they just on the same flight together for some reason? Like, I didn't realize they
I
worked
thought
together initially.
I thought it was a work trip, but I was like, why would Roy Ray go on this work trip with her?
Yeah, why did she take her child
A
with
job
her?
of an au pair is literally to be with that child, like not
Yeah.
just a babysitter to show up on a night I'm going to the movies. An au pair is like there to be there constantly.
Well,
So
and
he
she
should have been with
also
Chad.
has a sister that lives with her that if she had to take a work trip, her sister probably could have watched the child at
Yeah.
home. It just
Bonnie would love to.
if we're gonna get into plot holes too, okay, imagine you get fired from your job tomorrow. Would you be like, okay, I'm fired, but give me one more day to go back to the office and try to steal all your business
That
from you?
bothered me, Paul. I literally said it to John. I go, they let him finish out his day and try to get his clients to go with him. That's a
Yeah,
conflict of interest. He was probably breaching some contract. You can't take people with you. He was Michael Scott Paper Company.
I do have that as one of my notes that this
Did you write
scene
that?
basically this walk so the Scott Paper Company could
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it was. I'm like, they would have walked his ass out with security. He wouldn't have been able to have his whole big moment stealing a fish. He would
Yeah.
not have been able to poach other people in the office. She wouldn't even be that helpful. I mean, she's an accountant, sure, but what else? Now it's just you.
Yeah, there would have been a meeting with HR. You're not going out to lunch with your buddy where you get fired.
I know. Oh my
So
gosh.
that's one of my other questions. Like, has Kelly Preston been around a real person? Has Cameron Crowe ever worked a real job? Does he know how office culture works? I
I
mean,
don't
the
think
answer is
so.
probably
And I
no.
was so worried
You
about
know,
that damn fish.
yeah. What
He didn't
happened to
poke
the
a
fish?
hole in the
They killed
bag.
it, right?
No, it was in Roy Ray's room. He had the fish. And it was huge. Remember, they zoomed in on it and the fish was like gigantic. He had like a big bulging eye.
I don't remember what the fish looked like.
Wow. Okay. Well, it's a goldfish, so you know what that looks like. Do you have any more plot holes? Because I like poking
Well,
these.
what else do I have? So I think we're supposed to. It's not really a plot hole. It's just kind of a problem I had with the plot. We're supposed to be led to believe that Jerry's speech to what's Tidwell's first name? Phoebe's first
Rod.
name. We're supposed to believe his speech kind of inspires him not to be a paycheck player anymore, right? Like he needs to play with heart.
Mhm.
And like so then we kind of see a montage and he's playing better football, I guess. But like what does that mean that you're playing with more heart? Like and it's not even very I think it's implied, but it's really not explicit that like that's the, he could have just been having a better season. Like I don't know. It just bothered me because it didn't make sense. And really, what is playing with more heart? That's not actual advice. That's just nonsense
I'm
words
gonna
that sound
stop you
good.
there. Because as somebody that I know you're not watching football on the regular, like I have taken on in my older age, I can tell when a player is playing with heart. And people are gonna be rolling their eyes listening to this,
Hmm.
but
They should be.
like I can I can tell when Jared Goff isn't in it. Like I can tell and he has a bad game and I can feel it. And he doesn't have his heart in it. And I don't think he had his heart in the season at all last season. It was supposed to be a big one for us. And he like literally crapped the bed. And I mean, I'm not trying to dog his child, but people are saying like he's not doing as well now that he had a kid. He has no heart in it because his heart is with his little baby. And that's perfectly fine. But also do better. And so I think I can tell when a player is playing with heart. I can.
Okay, well, I guess one of us thinks that that is not nonsense, and one of us thinks that it is complete nonsense. So
Well,
chime in the
you had
comments,
me at
everyone.
hello. You had me at hello.
What
Where
else?
where else do you wanna go? Do you have any, we talked a lot about we talked about all of this stuff. Did you have any things that you actually did like? Did we go over anything you liked, some
I
favorite
mean, I thought the
moments?
cast was good. Most of the performances were good, and the casting was good. Those are my things that I liked. And yeah, like I said, I really thought, okay, I'm gonna get into the relationship aspect of this when they went on their first date, and then their first date was I don't know, like she left to take a phone call, and there was a mariachi band, and then they have sex to some John Coltrane, and I don't the rest of like the relationship starts before that, right? Like he gets super drunk and then shows up at her house and drunkenly grabs her boob, like
Oh
And then
yeah.
she wants to
Ugh.
go on a date with him after that. Like, what about him is appealing at all?
Maybe there's like some underlying things that it was supposed to look fluffy and lovely on the top, but maybe this was just a whole movie about Dorothy trying to get money for her family
I
and like
think
low
there's
key
very much
scamming
a read.
Jerry.
I mean, they get married for health insurance, right?
Is that what they said?
She's moving away because she needs the better job, because she needs health benefits for her weird kid. And then he proposes
Okay.
to her outside of the moving van, and that's why they get
Yeah.
married.
And she didn't even say yes. She just ran in and told her sister that we're getting married. Like, yes? You got to finish the sentence there, my friend. Well,
So
her
anyway,
kid sits in the front seat of the truck staring at her in silence. This
I
fucking
just
kid.
wish, if this was going to be a romantic movie, I wish we'd seen a little bit more of the romance, and I wish that I could buy the relationship in any way, shape, or form. And I don't. So that when you get some of the iconic lines like you had me at hello, I don't feel like it's earned.
I don't know why I felt like it was then. I don't know. I think they got me in a tizzy. I think they got me in a romantic tizzy. I was like, maybe just starving for some romance, frankly. I don't know. Because I, you know, I spent all this time writing down. I'm like, everybody loves show me the money. Everybody loves you had me at hello and you complete me. But I loved shoplift the pootie.
Can you explain to me what that means?
I think for what he was trying to get at was like having sex with people, with women without being in a relationship with them. Like, because you're just grabbing the pootie wherever you can and
But
like
wasn't he in a
not
relationship with
paying for the
Dorothy,
pootie.
though? Like, he goes from just breaking up his engagement to being in a relationship with Dorothy. Like, it's not like they're just having a one-night stand or anything. I guess I don't remember where that phone or that conversation takes place in terms of Dorothy and Jerry's relationship.
Well, again, because we have no frame of time frame
Yeah.
of mind, time frame of mind. We have no idea. And it's at the weirdest time, which, he's doing that commercial for the car company, I think it was, or the car dealership with the camel. And I mean, it was a cool kind of scene. I assume that was probably all one shot of them just walking all the way down. They were dodging things, which I always find is like a fun kind of thing to do, walking through the street and you got to dodge the mirror and like all this other stuff. So I thought that was a nice thing. And the camel seemed like an asshole. So that was nice. Um, but I thought Shoplift the Pootie was funny because Jerry's character just needed to be shaken a little bit sometimes. And I think Rod did that, shook him out of it. He wouldn't normally hear Shoplift the Pootie. And I wrote the Quan, because I thought that should have gotten more action. I do think that the Quan should have been the big one.
Okay, well, let's try to bring that back, especially when we're at the casino next.
Yeah. We're gonna get the Quan. That is all I had really that we have because we kind of bounced around.
We did
I
bounce
think
around a lot.
that
Were there any themes of the movie that you wanted to talk about? I didn't really have much. I mean, maybe like focusing, like his whole crisis of faith is maybe it shouldn't be all about the money. Maybe it should be about the people. But I
yeah,
don't know if
I
you
wrote
ever
that.
like, is it ever really about the people and not the money? He follows
Well,
his
before
one
we
client
end,
because he needs money.
so he doesn't need money. I when we first started the movie, I looked at John. I said, "Hey, like we have to watch this movie within my mind looking for the American dream and the downfall of the American dream. And if we can find it, I can get Paul." And I think I found it. So I felt really good about it.
No, that's not the
I
only
said,
theme that I think movies
I
can
said, I
have.
think I found it for you. Defining success and the American dream here is more of a balance. That he can be successful in business and love, and it doesn't have to be one or the other.
So you thought my main takeaway
Did
from
I
this
get it?
movie was going to be that you can really have it all? That's what you thought I was going to think? You can have it all. You can have the women and the money.
I don't know. I tried really hard. I was like, I have to get him. I gotta have a gotcha moment. Anyway, I'm gonna delete that and forget that I ever said
Well,
that. So
you really got me there.
gotcha on that one. Uh, that I kind of try, and then I tried to relate it to Marty. Um, that he starts this movie and he spends most of his career using his clients to get more money, and it's all about the money with no human connections, and everything's got to be transactional. But with Jerry, like I just said, he learns that there is more to life than just the money aspect, and there is love. Marty never really realized that, so
When did Jerry realize
tying it
that, though?
back. at the end when he came in the door and he said, hello, and he went into his whole spiel.
Okay, so you think he really loved her. He's not the kind of person that can be alone. He bounces from one relationship to the next. Like literally he breaks up with his fiance and then he starts a relationship with someone else. And that's an engagement too. That's not like you're just dating someone. And he starts a relationship with his employee too. Like,
yeah,
ew.
that was a conflict of interest for
And
sure.
they play it
Because
as
then
it's like
even
so
that night,
cutesy.
after the night that they have sex and she goes to his apartment to have that meeting and he hands her the plate of donuts and asks her to put it on the table and she's kind of like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to do that. And it's like, well, no, actually, honey, you are still employed by this man.
It did seem like when they were at the end, when they were at the talk show, like they were kind of on more of an equal footing, like, they were co-running the business or something. So I guess that
Mm-hmm.
seemed a little bit cute.
Well, and I think I'll get into the ending a little bit because why did I write this? Now I feel like I didn't get this movie at all. I wrote, could the ending get any better? Like, but I do think that he loves her, and maybe in some aspects it's a combination at that point of Ray and Dorothy that he loves, and he's kind of getting that pre-built little family. Like he doesn't have to really do much anymore because he gets both the things that he wanted. Like now he's got this high profile client who's making all this money for him because he's at the end of the day he still does want to be shown the money. He still wants the money, but he also wants the family and the stability and that kind of whole thing. I do think that he loves her. I don't know if it's like a deep earth-shattering my bones are shaking love, but he got what he wanted. So it was for him this movie is good. This movie is a good one.
Well, sure. He didn't have to be alone. He made money and he's got a hot wife until he moves on to the next person. I don't know.
Until Kelly Preston comes back and punches him in the throat.
Oh my God. R.I.P. Kelly Preston. But I don't know Kelly Preston from much else. Is she just a terrible actress?
Jack Frost.
Is she the mom in Jack Frost?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Jack Frost. Maybe we can watch that for one of our next Christmas movies.
I talk about it all the time and people are like, it's so creepy. And I'm like, no, it's not.
I think that might be one of my sister's favorite movies. I can't
I don't
remember
think
which
it's creepy.
sister, though.
And I have a thing for Michael Keaton, but that's neither
That's
here
fine.
nor there. Something I have to deal with.
I don't know. Do you have any other miscellaneous thoughts?
The only other one was shout out Bonnie Hunt. Thanks for being here.
I liked Bonnie
love
Hunt's
B. Hunt.
character. She was really funny, and I did
She
think
was so
it was
cynical.
funny.
I loved it.
I compared this to The Preacher's Wife because I thought that it was funny that there's just kind of like this sage, older, bitter person like giving out advice while also smoking cigarettes and endangering children with secondhand smoke.
Couldn't ask for anything better.
The smoking in the house, like that's something you just don't see anymore.
That is
unless you live with Sean
crazy
Penn.
work. That's crazy work. Do not smoke inside, please.
So her character was funny, and I could have used more Bonnie Hunt. So yeah, 30 years. This movie is 30 years old, and it features a very prominent joke about Clarence Thomas taking advantage of people that work for him. And 30 years on, he's still a sitting Supreme Court justice. And Jerry Maguire, would you believe me that it gets even worse?
Oh God. Oh God.
So remember when I said we wouldn't get political? Well, there's your daily dose of politics because Clarence Thomas
Everything
sucks.
is political. Everything's political. That was
remember when his wife tried to overthrow the government? It's literally been 30 years and there's a joke in this movie about how creepy that guy is, and he's still on the highest court in the land. Good job, America.
Oh God. Okay. We haven't rated a movie in a while. Do you want to give it a rating before we wrap up?
I'll give it a 0.5 star.
Wow, really?
I literally hated this movie.
Okay. I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to give it a 3.
Did you actually have it like as a 4 or a 5 before I just started?
I didn't actually rate it at all. I mean, after I was watching it and I was wiping away my tears, I'm like, it's a 5. This movie's a 5. And then, it's medium. I liked it. It's medium.
I hated it.
No, it wasn't. Okay. Okay, do you have any non-movie shout-outs before we talk these people's ears off?
So I started a new video game last night. It's a 2026 video game. It's called Mio, which is short or stands for Memories in Orbit. I only played it for a couple hours, but it's absolutely beautiful and I love it so far. And
is that on the Switch too?
I can't remember if it's on Switch or not. I got it on the Steam Deck, but it might be on Switch. And then I know you were talking about TV shows, so I also wanted to say that season 6 of All Creatures Great and Small just started, and it is one of the most wonderful TV shows ever. It's just nice and cozy, and Katie and I love it every season. And the federal government's trying to do away with your PBS, so support your local PBS station and watch All Creatures Great and Small. If you like animals or cozy or British people or happiness, it's a wonderful show.
If you like happiness, that's the only place you're going to find it right now.
The show is like a warm blanket. It's just one of those shows that just makes you feel good.
That does sound lovely. My shout out is also a show, but it's pretty much the opposite because I am deep into The Traitors and I have to wait until Friday for my next episode. But you guys, it is so good. It is like fun and funny and mystery, and everybody's like backstabbing, and there's this hot guy named Rob, and I guess he was on Love Island, and he's walking around wearing overalls, and then Lisa Rinna's there, and so is Dorinda from Real Housewives in New York City, and basically like, so it's like a cast, right? And they make 3 traitors, and so they have to basically murder somebody every night, like, fake murder them.
It's Among Us, the TV show, right?
Kind of, I guess, yeah. And so then they do missions like throughout the day, and they try to like not really sabotage it, but because like if they get found out as the traitor, then everybody who's not a traitor, who's a faithful, wins. So they have to like murder everybody, the 3 traitors, by the end of the show to win, for the traitors to win. And so they're all just backstabbing each other, and it's crazy. And they had Michael Rappaport on there, and he's a piece of shit, and like he eats his food really weird, and he's holding his cup like with 2 hands really weird, and it's just so good. And I'm so excited for the next episode. And Rob is one of the traitors, and Lisa is one of the traitors, and another housewife, her name is oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I was just watching it the other day. Anyway, but it's so funny to see this guy with these 2 housewives like try to like scheme and manipulate these people, and they're like just all in it, and it's just like perfect casting. So shout out to The Traitors. Everybody needs to go watch it.
I'll make you a deal. If you watch All Creatures Great and Small, I will not watch The Traitors.
Sounds like a terrible deal.
It's not a great deal. Yeah, so what is next? Is a new month. It's gonna be February.
Next is a new month.
Time we have a new episode out, so we're starting a new theme.
Yep.
What's our theme?
The theme is love.
Romance.
Did I say that creepy enough? Love and romance. Yeah,
love and romance. So our next movie will be It Happened One Night. This is a movie that I have seen that Katelynn has not.
Blind spot for me.
Yeah, so we're not doing a blind spots completely next month. We're doing kind of a movie swap. So I pick one, Katelynn picks one. I pick one, Katelynn kicks me off the podcast for an episode to do an episode with Katie. So
I said it was fine if you wanted to come, just don't be near us and don't bother us.
So yeah, that is February for us, and we will be joined by my friend Melissa next week. So
I'm excited to meet her.
Hope you enjoy.
She's a blind spot.
She is a blind spot.
She's a blind spot for me.
All right. Well, where can you find us on the internet, Katelynn?
Well, you can find us wherever your podcasts are found. We are on Apple. We are on Spotify. We are on Instagram at theme.onscreen. We are on TikTok, theme on screen. We're on Letterboxd, theme on screen. And can I reveal?
Yes, you can reveal.
We're also on YouTube now. So you can see our beautiful faces staring at you directly into your eye holes. On our YouTube. Is it just theme on screen? Is that how they'd find it?
Yeah,
the link is in our bio.
I did start adding the links to our bios, so you should be able to see them now.
Yep. Okay. So you guys can watch us there
below.
And like and subscribe to our podcast. Leave us a review if you like us. And we are done. We're done with this episode. Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
We will see you next week, and thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.